Hey, it's Heba. Today I want to start with some numbers and also throw in some beans. Just really in the mood to do some scrying, I guess you could call it. Let's start with numbers first, okay? We have 4 and 2, 2 and 4. I'm gonna get more than 2, so let's keep going. 4 and 1. So 1, 4, 4, 2. Those are the numbers for today's reading. In here I have coffee beans, I have some little stones, I have a heart, and some acorns. So just like a little mixture of things. Good. And then I really want to pull a couple cards from this. This is the Oracle of the Seven Energies. I really see the color purple coming through strongly. I see the color purple in one of these little amethyst stones that came out. And then this deck, the outside of it is actually purple. So the color purple could be relevant for you. Have a tall tale, number 35. Birds of a feather, number 25. Great and full, number 4. So being grateful, being great, and being full of good things could be a bit of a theme for you right now because number 4 came up when I threw the die earlier. Twice. I get the message that things don't have to be perfect. Maybe sometimes you think that things have to be just so. Sometimes it's possible that they can be just so. You can make them just the way you want and you can make it very specific. But in certain circumstances, it's just not necessary. You can just do it. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can just jump in and just do it. When you have the time and the ability and the circumstances to make something completely perfect, go ahead and do it, and that's awesome. And when you don't, but instead of having those things, you're being brave, you're taking a bit of a risk, you're putting yourself out there. There's a kind of energy that supports you, that takes care of all of those details that you can't take care of when you are too busy being present, being willing, and getting out of your comfort zone, doing something different and something a little bit nerve-wracking. So there's energy that's going to support you and take care of those little details when you're busy doing those things. So if you can't be perfect because you are putting yourself out there, you're doing something a little bit nerve-wracking, don't worry about it in those instances and trust that there's energy taking care of those details for you at that time. Could be that some of you are going through a bit of a hard time and there's a lot of messages of love coming through here, kind of saying that you are known even beyond this solar system, you are loved. There's just like love here for you. It's like spirit is redirecting you to your heart space and to an invitation for you to feel the love that's here for you because it's present. And sometimes there's a lot of things going on that obscure that light or that love. And sometimes our vision goes to those things, those distractions. And that makes sense. That happens sometimes, but the love is still there. The core of who you are is still there, even when things are distracting or stressful or there's a lot going on. So just a reminder that that center, whole, steady part of you is always there. That love for you is always there. I see the color blue. I know my tablecloth is blue, but the color blue came through as well. The blue of the sky is someone taking pictures of the sky and the clouds, or someone meditating on the sky or the clouds. Someone's taking photos of the sky. That could be confirmation for someone here. Someone has a new idea, maybe something that they had started before and nothing really happened with it and it never went anywhere. But now there's a potential for it to become more. There's a way to polish it and make it more presentable and make it more of an offerable product or service. Could be photography. I mean, yeah, it could be. Because I saw the taking pictures of the sky and then kind of putting something away and then bringing it back out and saying, well, maybe I can do something with this. So, and then also in general, just polishing. So some of you might be polishing your appearance, polishing certain aspects of your life, kind of refining, cleaning, doing some cleaning. Could be some spring cleaning. Yes, in general, I see this kind of taking the dust off of things that have been sitting for a long time. I see this aspect of polishing and cleaning and refreshing, which is really lovely. I see the color green. I'm also smelling spearmint or some very intense minty smell. I see like a milky green, maybe matcha. That could be confirmation or affirmation for someone here. Very interesting. And I'm getting some feminine energy with that milky green. We have a tall tale. We have birds of a feather. And we have great and full. There's a funny thing about reading that I want to share. So when you're reading energy or you're reading someone's cards, it's tricky because your mind is going through its own filtering system of, oh, does that make sense? Is that something that I want to say? But when you're reading, you're translating energy. So you can't really judge what you're saying. You're supposed to just let it run through you. And it's a funny back and forth, especially when I'm not in a full trance, even a partial trance here, because I hear my mind's response to the energy that I'm reading. and the kind of judgment of the words that are coming forward. And it's a good reminder that sometimes we overly judge things, especially if they look familiar to us. If we've experienced them before, we remember them from before, we might judge them in a way that's not fair if they're presenting themselves to us right now, new. Even if we've seen them before, if we're seeing them again in this moment, they are new to us. It's good to let people have a chance, let an opportunity have a chance to show itself to you before putting that judgment into action and putting that judgment into words and saying, no, or saying, I already know what you're going to say to me. It's like, okay, maybe we can recognize and say, I feel like I know what you're going to say to me. I feel like I know where this is going, but go ahead. Let me just hear you out, or let me just see this through just a little bit. And in that way, we can also update those old files. Like, I've read this card a certain way before, Birds of a Feather, and I felt the same energy coming off of it again. And I thought, oh, it's interesting because that's not the meaning of this card. And I'm like, why am I getting that same energy I got from another reading here? And I wanted to dismiss that message that came through, that same message. Part 2 of reading is I have to say what came forward. I have to say what I saw and continue with the story. So maybe that's not the full message, but if I say what came to me, the next thing can come after it. You see, it's this one drop catches another drop, catches another drop. Don't ever be dismayed if you're reading for yourself or for someone else. Even if you're having a conversation with someone and you're unsure of where the conversation is going, just keep trusting in the next thing that's coming up, that something else is going to follow that. And you have the ability to, in between each segment, in between each droplet that's coming forward, you have the ability to be present with each droplet and see the story unfolding. You're present with kind of your judgments that are going to come up, and you also have the ability to keep being present and just keep flowing that water, keep flowing that energy. One droplet brings the next. So again, I'm getting this message of you might think that you know what someone's going to say or what an opportunity will hold for you, but there's a bit of an invitation or a suggestion to just see it through a little bit at a time. Just walk with it a little bit at a time, and then make your choice. But you don't always know where something is going. Right, and see here, now this tall tale card makes sense. And I'm seeing where this first part of the reading is going. And it is echoing everything that we've just been talking about, which is, yes, when you've been through similar things in the past, you've been through a lot in the past, let's say in relationships, in work, in whatever, your life, and you've gathered a lot of information on if something looks like this, then this is what I can expect from it. When you have too many of those predispositions, too many of those kind of judgments ready to go, there's nothing wrong with that. That's a very natural response to life. But what happens is you can weave a story around something that's not entirely true, because it's like you're collecting pieces. All of these pieces might look familiar to something that you've experienced before, and you say, well, I know what this is about because I've experienced it before. So you might make a determination on something or think that you know the whole story when in fact it might not be true. You might just be telling yourself stories that aren't real. It's beautiful that this is coming up because it's an opportunity. I mean, it means that you are ready to reevaluate something. It's like, that it happens sometimes that, no, I would say, that there might be a current situation where you are not sure if you have the whole story. Maybe you thought that you knew the whole thing, but you're like, actually, I don't know. Do I have all the information? Am I making the correct judgment here? And this is to your benefit, like the opening up the observation, letting go just a little bit of those preconceptions and just observing with an openness. It's to your benefit because it's like refreshing something within you. It's discarding some old files in your mind so that you can have new information, refreshed information that all serves you. I love this. Okay, cool. I'm very excited. All right, let's get some tarot out here. We're using the tarot deck, Influence of the Angels Tarot. This is an awesome deck if you're in the market. I would really highly recommend this one. There's something about the way that it reads that is just beautiful. You'll see. You'll see what I mean. And there's a lot of symbolism in it. What does the heart want these people to know that are watching this? Tell me what the heart wants them to know. Thank you so much. Mm-hmm. Oh, see, yes, you're going to need this openness, this clarity. It's really funny. It makes me think of the coffee beans at the beginning where we talked about how sometimes there's a lot of distractions. And when there's a lot of distractions, you might forget your center, that that love and clarity and spirit that's at the center of who you are. Even with these oracle cards that we were talking about, how again, when there's a lot of distraction, even from memories, from your preconceptions, it could cloud how you're seeing things. And I think this is coming through because the heart is telling you you're going to need to be as clear of a channel as you can for this, what's upcoming. You're going to want to be as aware as you can and as steady as you can, because there are distractions right now in your life. There are even distractions in your mind, right? Remembering things, trying to go over things, having judgments of things. Okay, whatever, that's happening. What's important is that you then anchor into that center part of you, the one that knows love, even if you can feel a little bit that love that's coming through from spirit, that clarity, that centeredness. Don't worry about getting rid of the distractions. You're focusing on clarity and you're focusing on the love that you are and the love that's inside of you. You're going to the parts of you that don't have these preconceptions. You're going to the parts of you that are feeling clear, innocent, present. And you don't have to do it all the time. You just want to do it as much as you can, especially in these next few days, today and the next few days. Catch yourself as often as you can, especially if you're in the moment where there's a lot of distraction, noise, annoying stuff, whether it's in your mind or in your environment. Catch yourself in those times and say, can I find just a little glimmer of peace inside of me right now? I want to say this very short story. There's a singer, and she was talking about how she had a near-death experience, and that in that she felt this beautiful love, like this feeling of knowing no pain, absolute love, absolute peace. And she didn't want to kind of come back because she was wanting to stay in that beautiful feeling of no pain, peace, and love. And the first thing that came to my mind was, but isn't that such a gift to be able to have felt that feeling and know it so well and have it soaked through the whole of you? Isn't that the gift that then you can come back here where we do experience pain and we do experience annoying things, but to have the memory, the remembrance of that feeling that you can call upon is amazing, an incredible gift. And I thought, well, isn't that what that was for, right? If you can know that that feeling exists, it doesn't matter whether you're having a currently physical experience or not. That feeling exists. It's a thing that's real, right? That vibrational space of no pain, calm, and peace. It doesn't mean that you have to be in that space all the time. Again, if you can call it to yourself and get a few moments of breath. In the same way, I would invite you to pay attention to times when you feel that weightlessness, that joy, that absolute breath, and kind of say to yourself, I'm going to catalog this. I'm going to remember this so that when I need to feel it, I can call it back to myself. Even now and in the next few days, try to remember times when you felt that way and say to your spirit, say to yourself, I'm calling that feeling in so that I have a few moments of relief. It's a funny thing when someone is going from a very difficult time to a very beautiful time because there's still a transition that has to occur. Your energy field has to become prepared to receive the good. And sometimes we're ready to be let down, be disappointed, face something difficult until we steady ourselves and we're like, I can do this, I can do hard things. But what about when it's not hard? What about when it's time to do soft things? What about when it's time to invite in something beautiful and be willing to open up to it? Do you have the same capacity? Do you have the same practice in place to soften just as much as you have a practice in place to harden? Yeah. And this is what I'm feeling from your reading, is that you're going into a place where what's called from you is to be more open, to be more soft. And yeah, isn't it funny how it seems as though life hardens us? It seems as though life is preparing us for all of these trials. And if we catalog all the things that we've been through, we gather all of this wisdom. All of a sudden life says, you know what? You're going to need to forget some of that crap that you've been through. You're going to need to forget some of that stuff that has hardened you so that you can accept the good things coming in. I would say if you're a creative person, if you like music or art or some kind of self-expression, this is a really great time to express. And you might be doing it. You might be writing songs. That's funny actually, because I was just thinking of that singer. So perhaps you do like writing music or performing, or you just love listening to music. Yes, this is a really good time for you to self-express in that way. You're learning to transmute certain pain and difficulty that you've lived with into something beautiful. And you're not trying to destroy it. You're not afraid of it anymore. You're just saying, okay, there's parts of me that are sometimes, anxious or unhappy or uncertain or confused. And you're doing this very beautiful kind of magical thing of taking that and self-expressing with it and making something that means something to you and could mean something to other people as well from those states of uncertainty, anxiety, confusion, creating from that space. It's beautiful. You're doing it. So yeah, it could be you've been through something difficult or it wasn't even difficult, but for you it was difficult. It's like you were having a hard time dealing with something, even if objectively it wasn't bad. I mean, it might have been, but objectively it might not have been. But for you, it's like you wanted something different. And through this reflection on what can I do next? How do I get out of this? How can I, pivot? You get an idea. So someone might inspire you or you just get this idea, seems to come out of nowhere. Aha, yes. So you get this idea, but you don't really know how to apply it yet. We have the Five of Wands. Before that, I was reading the Page of Swords here. You get this idea, you don't know how to apply it. And also maybe you're just dealing with a lot of stuff in your life. So it's kind of like, I have this beautiful idea, but where does it fit in right now in my life? Not sure. What can I do with it right now? We don't know yet. Six of Pentacles. I feel waiting for something worthy, but you're not passively waiting, you're actively waiting. So it's like you're measuring things out in your life. You're measuring out how much energy certain things take from you in your life and how much you're devoting to those things. It's good that you're going through this measuring system, and it's because you have an idea. Whether you know it or not, I would think that you do. Whether you know it or not, there's an idea here. It's because of this idea that you're going through this kind of measuring and weighing out system of things that are happening in your life. Where does the good fit into your life? Where does it fit in? Where does something beautiful fit into your life? Is there a place for it? Do you have the energy for it? And it's like you want to do something right this time. You want to make sure that you have an environment that's worthy of something good. You want to make sure that things are more balanced and make more sense for you. This is something that comes as a blessing, the Tower, crossing energy here. You could be causing the Tower, you could be benefiting from the Tower, okay? So something's falling, something's radically changing, which seems like is what you need because this idea has to become for you. It has to become more. And as you're going through this weighing out process and this is there a place for good things in my life process, you're getting rid of some things, you're shedding some things, and some things are naturally moving away to make way for this idea. Good. Intriguing. Right. So it's a big process that you're going through here, but you're handling it with a lot of grace. Could be you're used to handling a lot of things. You're used to handling heavy things. You're moving through this with grace. Well, and also because this idea has really piqued your curiosity. And sometimes spirit does that on purpose. Put something in your path that really intrigues you. Because when you're very intrigued and interested, you're more willing to make change. You're more willing to go places you haven't gone before. Okay, so the idea is growing into more. It's growing in your mind. You still are not completely sure how to implement it all the way, but the idea is growing, it's becoming more, and it's causing change in your life. We have you as the Lovers. Here's that reevaluation of things in your life again. Woo! Maybe sometimes you used to go for certain things and now you're thinking, do I want to go for that same thing? Does this serve me? Does this add to the good in my life? So funny how just this idea that has come to you out of some kind of difficulty or just like annoying circumstances that you were in or an internal turmoil, this idea starts to change you. It's changing you. It's changing what you say yes to and what you say no to, compelling you to reevaluate. This is what you're meant to be doing right now. You're like right on time, right on course. We have the Knight of Pentacles in the environment. I got the message, do I have enough? Do I have enough? Again, we're doing a lot of evaluating. You're doing a lot of checking out what you have and what you don't have. I mean, some of it is like in your life and in your thoughts. And some of it is also looking at your finances, looking at your physical items, like taking inventory in a way. What do I actually have? Do I have enough? So either you have a secret or there's something secretive happening around you that's to your benefit. Don't worry. Let me see if I can get this message to come through all the way. Something will grow. So something related to like your money or some kind of physical things that you have will grow. Part of you already knows that this is going to happen. You might not see it yet, but it's almost like you'll see it soon. It's it already exists in a way energetically. Right, so there's an echo. So it's almost like your money could be multiplying. Your physical things could be multiplying. I would even say if you're creating something like a physical thing or a digital thing, you're going to have enough money to duplicate it, right? So you're going to have enough money to put it in a system where it can duplicate itself even. Something is going to quietly grow or secretly grow that's in your environment. Okay, and that's happening because you're doing such a good job of really reflecting and deciding what you say yes to or no to in your life, even energetically. Do I want to entertain these thoughts or no? Just because I've thought them a lot before, right? Do I need to keep thinking them? Just because you've had a lot of something and it's familiar, do you owe anything to it, or can you let go and change? And you are changing. Your advice card here is the 9 of Cups, the wish card, of course. Your outcome card here is the Ace of Pentacles, so a new beginning. So this is what we were preparing for, this new beginning in your life. It could very well be related to this kind of creative endeavor that we've been talking about, the way that you're expressing yourself and this thing potentially multiplying. You've been making way so that there's enough of you for the new beginning, that you're ready enough, that you're open enough. This could be something that you've wanted for a long time, that you've kind of always done in some respect. Okay, we're going to clarify today with this deck. I don't know what the name of it is. One of those used decks that I like to get. This is the backside of it. Tell me what you want to know, and I'll get the answers for you. Okay, we're going to start with the Page of Swords here. Good. Okay, you almost dismissed this idea when it came up. You were like, why are you telling me about this cool idea when, I'm stressed out about this other thing? Yes, I love it. So, yeah, it's out of like discord, frustration, weirdness, feeling like you've been here before and you don't know how to like get out of this space, like even like a mental headspace, mindset. Like, oh, here we go again. But it's from that kind of difficult space that you're in that all of a sudden something opens. Yeah. An idea comes when you least expect it. You remember something when you least expect it, and it gives you this potential new outlook. And you don't know the answer just yet. We're looking here in the past position of the Page of Swords. You didn't know the answer, but all of a sudden something opens. Good. Let's look at this 5 of Wands. I like it. I like the energy of the 5 of Wands, even if it's kind of misdirected energy sometimes. It's a willingness. It's like you're willing to move about. You're willing to kind of hustle for something that means something to you. It's just evaluating where that hustle is going. Is it serving you or no? We have Temperance, 10 of Wands, Page of Cups. Here's that Temperance. There you are, figuring things out. 10 of Wands, yeah, because you're doing a lot. There's a lot in your life. We talked about that already. So much distraction and whatever. Just so much that you're doing all the time. Things, whether it's your mind or in your environment, I think it's probably both. Again, I love it because here we see the overwhelm sometimes that you're experiencing, but no big deal for you, because even in the overwhelm, you're still kind of like evaluating things. And in that evaluation, you don't know it, but you're conducting some kind of magic, because as you're evaluating, you are sorting, and that sorting is bringing about your new reality. Yeah. So it's kind of like you're doing something on the physical realm or within your psyche. I don't really like that, or why am I putting so much energy into this, or I do like putting energy into that. And as you're kind of going through this process, it's reverberating and echoing into like the larger energy realms, kind of like the universe being like, okay, so a little bit less of this, a little bit more of that, getting that perfect recipe for you. And I love the Page of Cups here because it's saying that even through this kind of big process that you're going through, this sweetness, this idea that started back here, it's developing. It's continuing to develop. It's continuing to kind of stick around, even when you're going through the sorting process of all this heavy stuff. It's still giving you a little bit of light, a little bit of hope, a little bit of this is possible. Let's look at this Tower, which honestly feels like a relief. Something changing for the better. You could be getting counsel from someone. Okay, yeah. From someone that you admire. It could be kind of a motherly figure. I have this funny kind of message coming through of that like wealth and royalty and these beautiful seeming things. You can define those the way that you want to define them. And perhaps before it was like you saw these things defined through other people's eyes and other people's beliefs, maybe even old beliefs that you used to have. And you're like, wait a second, that's not what I value. That's not what I want. It has nothing to do with me. To heck with all of that stuff. I'm going to move toward wealth and well-being and joy and prosperity and sensuality the way that I want to. And you're giving yourself the go-ahead to do so. Definitely it's like a letting go of old things or other people's things that aren't yours, beliefs and views that you're like, I don't want anything to do with this, actually. You have the Hangman here, which we see upcoming. So this letting go of, I wouldn't say pressure. It was almost like it just kind of happened where you like adopted other people's views or you kind of accepted old views of yours from before. Letting go of those things, it propels you into your future. Let's look at the moon down here. The Tower and the World. I like how all of your cards seem to be connected. Like the whole story is connected with itself. It means to me that you are connected with yourself, right? Your system is working in harmonics with itself, even if sometimes you don't think so. It is. It's working well together. Oh, I love it. Oof. The falling of this establishment in a way, the established old beliefs and thoughts and views of what good is supposed to be. As it falls, you are able to embrace your own, not darkness, but the more emotional aspects of who you are. The more anxious aspect, the more confused aspect. It's like you can embrace those aspects now differently. You can just embrace yourself now. You can say, okay, whatever, this is who I am. This is what I'm feeling. I'm going to transmute this energy. I'm going to express it the way that I want to. It makes me think of almost a clogged pipe that now is cleared and you're able to actually stream more fluidly. You're able to channel more fluidly because you don't have these kind of old views clogging up your pipes. You said goodbye to those views and it's beautiful. So you can allow yourself to emerge, or better said, your self-expression to emerge the way that you want it to. The world here says to me, yes, this is the way that I wanted it. This is the way that I want things to be in my life. And you're right on track. Let's look at the Knight of Cups. Yes, what's your question? I think I could end this reading right here because it's really solidifying what we've been talking about. I want to send compassion out to you because it's not like this has been a super easy journey, but there has been a light inside of you that's saying, keep pushing, keep going. You've got this, keep going, right? It's been uncomfortable for sure at times, overwhelming at times, annoying at times, for certain. But that light inside of you has kept you going. That's like, okay, just keep going, just a little bit further, a little bit further. And that's what we see here again. We see the Six of Swords. I would say here for sure that someone has been guiding you. Queen of Wands, and we saw the Empress before. So if it's not a physical person in your life, like a very big feminine energy in your life that supports you and inspires you, I would say that it's for sure some kind of guide that you have or someone who's passed over that still is involved in your life in a very loving, wonderful way. You could even, this could be maybe an artist or someone who's very creative that has passed that is you're connected to in some way and you're channeling their vibe and working with them in a way to create. Maybe you're inspired by some of the greats of the past. I really do want to say, though, that it is like you have a guide, whether you know them in the physical realm or not. There is this beautiful, large, warm, feminine energy that is supporting you, that loves your creative endeavors, that's saying, please go for it. Keep expressing, keep being who you are. Yeah, we see you being guided. Even when things are tricky or you have no idea what the heck's happening or if anything's working, you are being guided forward. Ace of Wands. Is it that you start to see now some evidence? Do you start to see some evidence of something working, something changing now? Does your inspiration grow? Maybe you start to see evidence that, okay, something might be happening here. People might be enjoying, what I'm putting out. I'm enjoying what I'm putting out, and there's like for you, a full realization of like, yes, this is it for me. I love this. There's more on this though. It's like, no, it's like there is affirmation. There's confirmation of I'm moving in the right direction. Something substantial shows itself that gives you the confirmation that you need. Let's look at the Hangman. Isn't it funny how such a small idea, seemingly small idea, can completely change your life? Yeah, I've got the Hierophant here. So I got this. Okay, now we're going by my rules. My rules now. My life, my rules. And even seeing the possibility, right, with this Hanged Man. Now we're seeing the possibility of what would your life look like if it was led by you. Your rules, not someone else's rules. Yeah? Page of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Woo! Wheel of Fortune. Oh dear. Wow. Okay. Big change. Wow. I mean, yeah, this changes the entire course of your life. It's like you've said it's my turn now to lead my life. Wow, this changes everything for you. You are changing everything for yourself. I love this. I do want to get just one more. I'm so curious. Woo! The Emperor. The Emperor and the Sun. Ooh, I got chills. Oh my goodness. I love this. This did not come, you've also gone through it in a way, you know what I mean? Like you, it's a blessing, of course. You're being absolutely blessed. But it's like you had to face certain things. You had to face certain aspects of yourself and you had to stand up to those. You had to really decide what was right for you and what was not anymore right for you from the inside out. That takes a lot. I mean, talk about trying to change something in the outside world. Try changing something in your inner world, right? How much that takes. It's a lot. It's beautiful work. This is exactly what it's saying. Now, you're the ruler of your own life now. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. You're not going to let things bring you down or try to reorganize what you have just set up for yourself. So there's a lot of strength and power supporting this change that you've set off in your life. Let's look at the Lovers. The Three of Swords just kind of peeked out at me. Ace of Swords. Out of what used to be heartbreak, now you get clarity. You don't even allow yourself to go all the way into that heartbreak zone because the clarity is so many steps before. Like you can get the clarity before you even go full into something that's not right for you. Yeah, exactly. That's where you're at right now. I don't have to eat the whole, rotten apple to know that it's rotten. I can just get a whiff of it and no, thank you. And that's your power right now. That's such a superpower that you have right now, is that intuitive knowing. You're not basing it off of all of these preconceptions you've had before. It's because you're present. You're present right here and right now with what's going on for you and your environment. And so it's just easy to see a rotten apple and be like, that's not for me. Anything else on that? I'd say also, I would say also it's confirmation from spirit saying you're on the right track. You're doing the correct things. Keep going in that. The Wheel of Fortune again. Wow. So a lot of fate. You were always meant to get here. You were always meant to make these changes in your life, and you're always meant to kind of free yourself of other people's beliefs of what is right and wrong, what's good or bad, what is wealth and success and what isn't. You were always meant to decide for yourself. And spirit is saying, yeah, keep going. You're on the right track. This is kind of like your fated path, and it's a path full of glory. I love it. Let's look at this Knight of Pentacles, right? He had some secrets in your environment. Three of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. Lots of Pentacles, so lots of opportunity in your environment, money, doing something that you're good at with other people. You're going to be the one who's able to hire people at some point. You're going to be the one in a power position to say, hey, can you come work for me? Can you use this beautiful skill that you have, help me in my business or help me in this creative endeavor that I'm in? I'm getting Six of Pentacles energy on this. Didn't we see that at the very beginning? Six of Pentacles, yes. Six of Pentacles is very, who's doing the giving? Yeah? Who's the giver and who's the recipient? And when you are a willing giver to things that are right for you, pretty soon you become the recipient of that giving as well. I see both sides. It's almost like you don't know yet that the gifts that are given to you, you will be able to give to others. You'll kind of have this beautiful full circle, like closed loop system, I think it's called, where everything is feeding itself. So you're giving and you're also receiving from what's being given. You're going to be participating in a system that maybe at first glance you don't understand how it's going to work, but it's going to be a system that you invest into, and then it makes everybody that's participating in that system wealthy or successful and able to feed back into that system. I really like that. I like that a lot. So it's very important that you kind of practice the Lover's card here. The Lover's card is choice. Make sure that you are awake and present for the choices that you are making. We're not dealing with temptation. We're not dealing with our vices right now. We're not going into the shadow. Okay. We're using that shadow for creative expression, potentially for understanding ourselves. But in terms of this opportunity, in terms of what you're doing right now in your life actively, it's clear decision making. Okay. I'm not making a decision because I know that tempts me and I like it. I'm not going to give into that right now. I'm going to make sure I'm saying yes to things because they feel true to me. Yeah. That puts you in the right position for this money related opportunity in your environment. I feel like you will know what it is pretty quickly if you don't in this moment, because it's something that you do, something you like to do, something that you're good at, and it could involve other people. And pretty soon that system is going to be benefiting everybody within it. Look at the Nine of Cups. Five of Pentacles. Change of Fortune. Six of Wands, the Moon. Part of you didn't think that you could get to where you're going to get to. It's like sometimes you used to psych yourself out. You would remember the difficult times that you've had before. Maybe you wanted something and you couldn't quite access it in the past. Not only is that going to be no longer true, it's like you're going to be honoring that journey that you were on. It's kind of funny, like you're almost honoring the difficulty that you had been through before And even the parts of you that at one point you kind of like you hated or you yelled at or you were so confused by, all of a sudden now you see it in a new light and you praise those parts of you that seemed so difficult in the past. Yeah, because they kind of like take you to where you are now in a sense. I mean, we saw that here. We're like out of difficulty and annoying stuff and even some self-sabotage potentially. All of a sudden you get this wonderful idea, something that changes your whole life. You have a new understanding of the moon, of the darker or more hidden aspects of you. And we saw that here as well, where the moon was underneath. And from that moon, you're creating, right? You're being the creator that you are. And you're transmuting energy, which you're also meant to be doing here. Okay. Wonderful. So I think that's coming under the Nine of Cups because you become aware of this. You become aware that, wow, I'm successful now. I love what I do so much now because of this transmutation of my moon energy, even because of the difficult times I've had. And I don't say that in terms of, I'm not glorifying going through difficult times, and neither are you. But it's just a different kind of understanding of what your life has been up to this point. It's like you see it with new eyes. Let's look at the Ace of Pentacles. The potential outcome here. Six of Cups, Nine of Swords. I want to say that you're unafraid. You're unafraid. Unafraid doesn't mean that you are without fear, but it's that when fear comes knocking, you're able to deal, you know? And what used to rock you in the past doesn't rock you so much now because you have a better foundation. You have a better understanding of who you are. An opportunity could come to you, could come as a person or even a chance to like move somewhere else. You might be really uncertain about whether it's a good opportunity or not. Is this a trustworthy person or not? And so you're kind of going through that in your mind. Should I go for it or not? And I would say trust in the foundation that you've built for yourself. Like look back to where this started. Like what was that idea that came through to you that grew and changed you, like changed the whole course of your life? Look and see what changed. And this might be because it's future oriented, you know, you might have to remember this for a future time. Remember this reading and remember that something started off really small and then completely changed your life and changed who you are. It became something foundational in your life. That foundation is important because you can refer to it. So something might be difficult. You might be like, I don't know what to do. But then look and see what you've built because you did that. It was you. Acknowledging your strength, your power, your ability to change and transmute energy is going to allow you to see things clearly, right? Because the best thing about the Nine of Swords is nothing bad's happening, right? You're scared or nervous or uncertain about something, but nothing bad is happening. So as you soothe yourself, as you remember who you are, you remember your power, you can kind of see things clearly because you want to be in this Queen of Cups energy. She's not afraid of nobody. She's not afraid of anything because she knows herself. She knows her power. She knows the power of emotion, truth, vision. She's not scared of herself. She knows her heart. So this journey that you've been through, it allowed you to know your heart really well. Yeah, because you said, I'm going to live life with my own rules now. So you claimed yourself, you claimed your kingdom, your queendom, your beautiful royal space. It's saying, yeah, we're not here anymore. Even if your mind sometimes freaks out and says, oh my gosh, we're in this scary space. We're not. We're in this Queen of Cups energy. She's integrated, she's whole, she's well, she understands how far she's come, and she's using this part of herself to make decisions. And so fearless because she's not afraid of truth and she's not afraid of seeing things for what they are, being brave. Let me get from this deck. Tell me a little bit more about this Ace of Pentacles, please. King of Pentacles. That's so funny because I was looking at this King of Pentacles down here. Now's your chance in a way. It's like an opportunity for you to give what you've received. It's an opportunity for you to show off even. Show off your skills. Show off what you've got. Show off how well you can potentially work with others. In this opportunity, you're going to be able to experience the other side of this loop that we were talking about. Like first you are a beneficiary of it and then beneficiary? I don't know if that's the right word. First you benefit from it and then you're allowed to have so much that you can then give to others. So I would say like, don't be psyched out by this opportunity that's coming in the future. It's like a new beginning. Not even a new beginning. It's like seeing something really come together. It's like, just as an example, if you're a musical artist and you've been hustling and trying and putting your music out and collaborating with other artists and seeing like some success here and there, but all of a sudden you get this opportunity to like create an album that's completely funded for you. They're even going to pay for like where you live while you're recording. I don't know anything about music recording. And that way it's not a new beginning because it's something that's so known to you, but it's this fuller vision of that thing. And perhaps because you have this opportunity, you can then hire people or even say like, okay, I'll say yes to this, but I also want to, invite my friend, this person and this person I know that's really good at this, and we can work together in this opportunity. Not only you are benefiting, but others are benefiting as well. I want to say that this is not saying to just then blindly say yes. Like if you're feeling fear and nervousness and uncertainty, it's not saying, well, I have to push through and just say yes anyway. No, it's saying you first have to make the move from this fear and this uncertainty into your heart space, into your truth, into your fearlessness. And then once you're feeling that, oof, okay, I'm sitting back in my power and in my strength. Now I'm going to evaluate this, and now I'm going to say yes on my own terms, in my own ways. Just want to make that distinction for you. Cool. All right, well, I'm going to do something I've been doing that I really like, which is just if someone is watching this and this resonated with them, if they have any final questions. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know what you thought down in the comments. I will see you soon. Bye.